Welcome to College Sport Check for this Wednesday, December 23rd. Scores and schedule. First, we're going to start with the scores. So we're going to do an update of the college bowl games first. So we're going to do a little football first, and then we'll wrap it up with the basketball scores. We've got a whole bunch. Okay, so the last three games since last time we met was the Miami Beach Bowl. That was South Florida, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky wins this one 45-35. And then on Tuesday, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl down in Boise, Idaho. And the winner, Akron, defeating Utah State 23-21. And then the winner of the Boca Raton Bowl, Temple defeating Toledo 32-17. Currently, as we speak, the Poinsettia Bowl is underway. Right now, Boise with a 21-0 lead with 3 minutes, 28 seconds left in the first quarter. Okay, and that's as of 5:11 p.m. Eastern Time. There were some other bowl games on tap for today. That's about it. Actually, one more. Excuse me. 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, it's the GoDaddy Bowl. Bowling Green and Georgia Southern, and that game is set for 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern on ESPN, and that is tonight. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, it starts with the Bahamas Bowl. Okay, the Bahamas Bowl, Middle Tennessee and Western Michigan, and that game is starting at 12 p.m. ESPN. And then it's this Hawaii Bowl, also tomorrow, and that's at 8 o'clock, and that's Cincinnati and San Diego State. So once again, the Bahamas Bowl tomorrow at 12 noon, ESPN, Middle Tennessee, Western Michigan, and then the Hawaii Bowl, San Diego State and Cincinnati, 8 p.m., also on ESPN. And then no football on Christmas Day, but the day after starts with the Sun Bowl. Okay, and let's see, the Sun Bowl, 2 o'clock. It's Miami and Washington State on CBS, and then the Heart of Dallas Bowl at 2:20 on ESPN, and that's Washington and Southern Miss. And then at 3:30 p.m., it's Duke and Indiana in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium, 3:30 ABC. And then at 5:45, it's the Independence Bowl, Virginia Tech and Tulsa. That's on ESPN. Washington and Southern Miss. Okay, we did that one already. 9:15 p.m. is the Foster Farms Bowl, Nebraska and UCLA, ESPN, down in out in Santa Clara. And then we skipped one at 11 o'clock a.m. It's the St. Petersburg Bowl, UConn and Marshall. That's also on ESPN. All right, so we got that. And we'll be back on Saturday, probably early Saturday morning, to get all go over the schedule for the bowl games. All right, so it'll be just the bowl game schedule on Saturday. And as far as basketball, a lot of schools are on Christmas break, so really got a bunch of basketball for tonight on Wednesday. Big game on Saturday, Louisville and Kentucky. So we'll go over all that in a moment. But first, let's go over some of the college basketball scores. All right. So again, Saturday, we'll just go over the bowl game schedule for football on Saturday. All right, so the basketball schedule, college basketball scores for Monday and Tuesday as follows. North Carolina defeating Appalachian State 94-70. Providence defeating Massachusetts 90-66. West Virginia over Eastern Kentucky 84-59. Marquette defeating Chicago State 91-74. Creighton defeating North Texas 105-82. Oregon over Alabama 72-68. Oregon State defeating Quinnipiac 82-61. Stanford defeating Sacramento 70-60. USC defeating SIUE 70-51. Tennessee Martin defeating Elkhorn 70-47. Ohio over Arkansas Pine Bush 65-58. Florida State over Charleston Southern 75-64. Omaha over East Illinois 80-68. Eastern Michigan defeats Coppin State 73-62. Ellen over UNC Asheville 86-81. Jacksonville defeating Florida A&M 68-66, and Grand Canyon defeating Houston 78-69. William and Mary defeating High Point 78-75. Texas State over Howard Payne 92-43. North Dakota State over Idaho State 67-62. All right, some other scores from Monday. Portland defeating Loyola Marymount 87-60. Holy Cross over Maine 76-75. Toledo defeats NC-A&T 95-92. Boston University defeating New Hampshire 78-74. Louisiana Lafayette over New Orleans 79-69. Norfolk State over UTEP 85-76. Jacksonville State over Northern Colorado 79-76. New Mexico State defeats Oral Roberts 76-61. Gonzaga over Pepperdine 99-73. And Northwestern defeating Sacred Heart 103-67. St. Mary's, California defeating San Francisco 74-72. Pacific over Santa Clara 73-72. Southern Illinois over St. Louis 65-52. Southern University over NC Central 68-63. Texas Arlington defeats Sul Ross State 98-40. Akron over UC Santa Barbara 84-70. Utah State defeats Texas Pan American 94-69. VMI defeating Gardner-Webb 76-75. Loyola Chicago defeating Western Illinois 72-67. Marshall over Wyoming 90-82. Notre Dame defeating YSU 78-87. Scores from Tuesday as follows. We have Miami defeating LaSalle 95-49. Okay. Michigan State defeating Oakland 99-93. Xavier defeating Wake Forest 78-70. Villanova over Delaware 78-48. Villanova currently ranked 17th. Xavier 6th. Michigan 1st. 13th place is Miami. Number 11 Iowa State defeating number 12 Cincinnati 81-79. SMU over Kent State 90-74. Number 14 Purdue defeats Vanderbilt 68-55. And number 9 Butler defeats South Utah 88-52. Number 16 Louisville defeats UMKC 75-47. And Virginia defeating California 63-62. Virginia currently 5th place. And then DePaul defeating George Washington 82-61. Okay, Arizona defeating Long Beach State 85-70. Kansas over San Diego State 70-57. Kansas in 70th place. Kansas in 2nd place. And 3rd place Oklahoma defeats Washington State 88-60. All right. Kansas State defeats North Dakota 63-49. Utah over Delaware State 105-58. South Carolina defeating St. John's 75-61. Drake over Abilene Christian 87-70. Evans defeating Alabama A&M 91-70. Winthrop over Alabama State 92-84. LSU defeats American 79-51. Auburn defeating New Mexico 83-78. Harvard defeats BYU 85-82. Indiana State defeats Ball State 73-61. Central Florida over Bethune-Cookman 101-96. Princeton over Bucknell 89-77. VCU defeats Buffalo 90-69. Cal Poly over UTSA 88-73. Arkansas State defeats Central Arkansas 77-67. Alright, some more scores. Syracuse defeating Mount St. Mary 82-60. Wright defeats Murray 65-49. Wichita State over Nevada 98-69. Nichols State over Hampton 84-81. North Dakota State over Texas Pan American 68-50. Arkansas over North Florida 97-72. Tulsa defeats Northern Arizona 90-55. Drexel over Penn 53-52. Cal State Bakersfield defeats Portland State 78-66. Nebraska defeating Prairie View A&M 81-50. Richmond over Presbyterian 74-44. Illinois Chicago over Purdue Calumet 91-74. Georgia Southern defeating Stetson 78-58. Iowa over Tennessee Tech 85-63. Illinois State over Tennessee State 66-55. And Hawaii defeating Northern Iowa 68-52. Maryland Eastern Shore defeats Central Penn 115-85. Charleston over Campbell 86-68. Georgia defeats Clemson 71-48. Colorado over Penn State 71-70. UC Riverside over Denver 63-54. Western Kentucky defeating Detroit 79-74. Tennessee over Eastern Tennessee 76-67. NC Central defeating East Illinois 57-52. Florida International defeats Binghamton 66-49. Hofstra over Florida Atlantic 68-54. Boston College over Fordham 64-55. Navy defeats Furman 62-49. Georgetown defeats Charlotte 62-59. Grand Canyon over Marshall 85-81. UAB over Hiwassee 116-43. Houston over Wyoming 94-89. Central Michigan over Howard 72-52. IPFW over Western Michigan 89-86. Memphis over IUPUI 84-48. Idaho over UC Davis 68-51. Utah State over Idaho State 69-58. NYU Brooklyn defeats Incarnate Word 66-59. UC Santa Barbara over Iona 80-76. Florida over Jacksonville 89-65. Air Force over Johnson & Wales, Colorado 80-56. Indiana over Kennesaw State 99-72. San Jose State over Life Pacific 128-66. Canisius over Louisiana Monroe 108-96. Dartmouth over Longwood 78-54. FGCU defeating Louisiana Tech 63-66. Fairfield defeats Loyola Maryland 94-88. Marist over Brown 84-83. UCLA defeating McNeese State 67-53. Ohio State over Mercer 64-44. Dayton defeats Miami, Ohio 64-63. Ohio State over Mercer, 64-44. Georgia State over Middle Tennessee, 64-62. There were a mess load of games on Tuesday. This is just Tuesday. Okay, here's the rest of them, though. Running down the end of the list here. UNCW defeating Utah Valley, 102-77. Northeastern over Vermont, 77-65. St. Joseph's over VA Tech, 79-62. George Mason over Wagner, 71-60. Hartford over Widener, 69-46. South Alabama over Rice, 74-67. Northern Illinois over Roosevelt, 85-52. Siena defeats St. Bonaventure, 73-70. And Stony Brook defeats Lehigh, 75-62. All right. UNC Greensboro over NC State, 58-52. Ole Miss defeats Troy, 83-80. And finally, Austin Peay defeating Woolford, 84-77. And as far as for Wednesday, on tap, okay, the CSE Notables, one game 12:30 this afternoon. That game was already played. That was Central Connecticut and UConn. Let's see, we got the scores here for you. Central Connecticut and UConn. UConn defeats Central Connecticut 99-52. All right, just got that in. Also, what else we got? Let's see. There's a bunch of other games today. Towson defeats UMBC 91-65 today. Davidson over Morris State 81-77. BYU defeats New Mexico 96-66. Hampton over Louisiana Monroe 75-64. Bowling Green defeated Cleveland State 62-47. Akron defeated Iona 78-64. And some games on tap for tonight. 7 o'clock. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3,